for all the records Marc Marquez has shattered in his career. What happened at the 2025 German Grand Prix wasn't just another dominant win. It was a reminder of how unpredictable, unforgiving, and downright chaotic MotoGP can be, even when the winner looks untouchable. At Sachsenring, Marquez may have cruised to a controlled and calculated victory. But the story of the race was what unfolded behind him. Only 10 riders finished. That's right, just 10. It was MotoGP Carnage at its finest, and Turn 1 became the most feared corner in the sport once again. Let's break down exactly how this wild race unfolded. The technical mastery of Marquez, the brutal luck for others, and what this means for the 2025 title race going forward. Heading into the race weekend, all eyes were on Marc Marquez. Sachsenring is his playground. 9 Premier Class wins and counting. After dominating the sprint on Saturday, the pressure was only growing. This time, Marc can't take the pressure off himself, Pecco noted pre-race. This is a track where everyone expects him to destroy everyone else, so I'll try to give my all. But any hope of resistance quickly faded. With pole secured and sunny skies overhead after a cloudy start to the day, the conditions played right into Marc's hands. There would be no rain to shuffle the deck, no Turn 1 dive bombs to knock him off course. Not for him, at least. Marquez nailed the launch and exited Turn 1 still in the lead. Aprilia's Marco Bezzecchi and BR46's Fabio Di Giannantonio slotted in behind, but even at this early stage, the cracks were visible. Di Giannantonio looked visibly quicker than Bezzecchi, and by lap 3, he was up into second, hoping to chase the master down. Behind them, Alex Marquez, still recovering from a fractured hand at Assen, was showing impressive speed. KTM's Pedro Acosta, another threat, was also in the mix, until he wasn't. On lap 4, Acosta tucked the front at Turn 2, while chasing Alex Marquez. Another potential podium gone in the blink of an eye. With Acosta down and Di Giannantonio holding off Bezzecchi, it looked like we were set for a stable podium fight. But Sachsenring wasn't done yet. For nearly half the race, things settled. Marc pulled away slowly but surely, over 2 seconds, clear by mid-distance. The main action was between Di Giannantonio and Bezzecchi for second. Then came lap 18, out of nowhere. Di Giannantonio lost control under braking for Turn 1. His front tucked, he slid into the gravel, surrendering a guaranteed podium. Within seconds, disaster struck again. Johann Zarco, who had fought back from a poor start on the LCR Honda, went down at the exact same corner. A double blow in seconds. Bezzecchi inherited second place, but just 3 laps later, Turn 1 claimed him too. The Aprilia rider crashed on lap 21. His promising weekend undone in an instant. That made it 3 top contenders, Di Giannantonio, Zarco, and Bezzecchi, eliminated in the same zone. And the chaos didn't stop. Trackhouse Aprilia's AI Ogura and factory Honda's Joan Mir got tangled at, you guessed it, Turn 1. Mir ran wide. And Ogura, trying a tighter line, lost control and wiped out the Honda man. 2 more gone. To cap it off, Aprilia tester Lorenzo Savadori, already lapped after an earlier crash, also fell again at Turn 1 that triggered yellow flags and an investigation, but no penalties followed. From that moment on, the race settled, but for all the wrong reasons. There simply weren't enough riders left to fight. While chaos engulfed the field behind, Marc Marquez never looked out of control. His lines were clean, his braking markers precise, and his racecraft perfect. This was not the desperate Marc of 2022, or the conservative return of 2023. It was the evolved, methodical Marquez that has come to define the 2025 season. He admitted afterward that the team had changed little on the bike from Saturday, simply adjusting the rear grip. balance for tire wear over 30 laps, but even that was more for consistency than speed. With his lead at over 7 seconds in the closing laps, Marquez backed off just enough to avoid risk, yet still crossed the line with a gap of 6.380 seconds. He even allowed himself a bit of flair across the finish. It was his 7th Grand Prix win of 2025, his 4th consecutive Sunday victory, and his 9th Sachsenring GP win. He now has 69 career Premier Class victories, moving him past Lorenzo into second all-time. Only Valentino Rossi remains ahead. Even more significantly, Marquez is now 83 points clear in the championship. His grip on the 2025 title looks nearly unshakable. Behind him, a minor miracle was unfolding. Alex Marquez, still healing from his Hassan injury, kept it upright. When it mattered most, while others dropped around him, he maintained a clean, consistent rhythm and picked off positions when they were handed to him. Fabio Di Giannantonio and Bezzecchi's crashes elevated him to second. And despite Pecco Bagnaia looming large behind, Alex never truly came under attack. "It wasn't the way I wanted to earn this result," Alex admitted post-race, but with the way Sachsenring treated everyone today, survival was its own strategy. His P2 finish extends the Marquez brothers' stranglehold on the standings. There's now 83 points separating Marc and Alex, with Pecco even further behind, 264 points adrift of the younger Marquez. Pecco Bagnaia's weekend started poorly and ended with mixed feelings. He qualified 10th, was off the pace all weekend, and yet somehow finished third. The crashes handed him a podium, but not clarity. "I don't know why. Nothing worked today," Pecco said post-race. "I didn't feel good in braking. Acceleration was weak. We need to analyze everything." Even so, the result helped limit the damage in the championship standings. But the reality is stark. Pecco hasn't won a Grand Prix since Coda and Ducati's factory team is now unquestionably leaning toward Marc's momentum. Behind the Ducati trio, a few under-the-radar performances quietly impressed. Fabio Quartararo was 4th, a strong, steady ride that held off rookie Fermin Aldeguer, who came within 2/10 of the factory Yamaha. Quartararo lost out to Jack Miller early, but fought back. Aldeguer's 5th capped a superb weekend. For the Gressi rookie, he continues to show he's more than just hype. Luca Marini, back from injury, scored Honda's best GP finish since 2023 with 6th place. He beat Brad Binder in a last-lap scrap. And it's a badly needed morale boost for HRC. Binder took 7th, with Miller 8th and Raul Fernandez 9th on the Aprilia. Alex Rins finished last of the finishers, a massive 39 seconds behind. Still, given the attrition, it was 5 championship points, his best result since round 4. Even before lights out, the grid was thin. Both Franco Morbidelli and Maverick Vinales withdrew on Saturday after separate crashes. That meant only 18 riders took the start, and by the end, only 10 saw the checkered flag, the fewest since Phillip Island 2011, when similar carnage struck. The race took a massive toll on Aprilia and Honda especially. No full-time Aprilia rider finished the race, and both factory Hondas were taken out via Ogiera. And Zarco crashing solo Bacosta's early exit from podium contention was another brutal blow for KTM, whose season has stalled after a promising start. After round 11 at Sachsenring, Marc Marquez leads the 2025 MotoGP Championship with 344 points, followed by his brother Alex Marquez on 261 points, and Francesco Bagnaia in a distant third with just 197 points. The gap between Marc and Pecco now stands at a staggering 147 points. Barring a major disaster or a dramatic shift in Ducati's internal priorities, it's becoming increasingly difficult to envision any realistic comeback scenario for Pecco. The 2025 German Grand Prix wasn't just another Marquez masterclass. It was the most attrition-filled MotoGP race in over a decade. Turn 1 became a war zone. The standings were turned on their head, and only the calmest riders were left standing. Marc Marquez emerged from the firestorm untouchable, surgical in execution, and utterly alone in terms of pace. It wasn't just about speed, it was about staying clean while others lost their heads. Alex Marquez proved again he's more than just the other. Marquez, while Pecco Bagnaia's Ducati future grows cloudier by the round. With 11 of 22 rounds done, we're at the halfway mark.